showing pain. If you're seated, finding a comfortable seated position, same as usual, see if I can sit as upright as possible to encourage the space into the abdomen to allow the breathing to happen easily from the diaphragm. If I'm laying down, using the mat to help me relax, allowing the arms to come down the side, turning the palms of the hands to face up and towards the ceiling, encouraging the shoulders to roll out and relax. Legs bent, look straight, whatever feels more comfortable for your lower back and your hips. And then same as usual, doing just a little quick scan of over the body. Notice where the body is and how it feels. So feel the pressure against the back of the body, against your seat bones if you're sitting up. Is it the same? Is it different? Is the head centered? Are the arms at the same distance from the body? Are the legs in the same position? I'm not trying to change anything. I'm just noticing how I feel and where the body is. And then start focusing on the breath. See if you can notice where the breath is at the moment. I might find that is up onto the chest as the fight and flight response, the sympathetic system kicking in. See if I can instead try to drop down into the rest and digest. See if I can try and direct the breath down into the diaphragm, filling the belly basin with the inhalation and fully with the exhalation. So softening the throat, relaxing the shoulders, allowing the front of the chest to relax a little bit more. And then as I feel the breath, it feels a little bit more settled, the body feels a little bit more relaxed. I'm going to start working from the hips up. Shuffling the feet and the knees nice and close together. If I'm laying down, I might open the arms a little bit further out to the side. I'm just going to start going into a nice and easy hip rolls. So rolling the hips over to one side, rotating the legs one way, coming back to the center, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. Imagine like a spiraling movement. So see if I can try and spiral the hips out, and then see if I can spiral them all the way back. So finding a little bit more connection, or being a little bit more aware of the connection between the ribs and the hips through the side of the belly. See if I can get the obliques to do the work. If you're seated, you're a little bit more limited as your weight is on the seat bones. So I'm just going to try and encourage a little bit of a movement from below and above. I'm going to pull the leg across and then rotate it one side, pull the leg across and then rotate it the other way. The same thing, see if you can picture that spiral. So the spine spiraling around to take the legs in one direction, spiraling back to the center and then going the other way. Noticing if there is restriction one way or the other. If one side feels more restricted, then see if I can try and maybe stay or move in that direction for a little bit longer. Control the movement a little bit better. 3, 2, 1, and release it back. Easing the legs back to the middle, adjusting the position of the feet, adjusting the position of the knees and the hips. And then staying down into the hips, into the pelvis. So each time I'm going to start going for a little hip hitch. So I'm going to try and hitch the right hip towards the right side of the rib cage, the left towards the left. The right towards the right, the left towards the left. So keeping that little movement going from side to side. If I'm lying down, I can feel the back of the pelvis flat against the mat, just gently shifting from side to side. If I'm sitting up, imagine to be making your seat very lighter on one side. So I'm going to try and hitch up on one side, relax, and then hitch up the other way. Relax, and then hitch up the other way again. Same as you did for the spiraling. See if you can be aware of the tension through the obliques or through the side of the belly. So this time, instead of the tension that comes across the body, is the tension that comes up the same side of the body. So I can feel the belly tensing to help me hitch the hip up towards the ribs, and then I'm going to release. And then same to the other side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the hips and releasing the legs. And then last movement from hip hitch, I'm going to go into a little pelvic tilt. So hips should be feeling, pelvis should be feeling a little bit looser, lower back should be feeling a little bit looser. So see if I can try and get the little tilt into the pelvis. So I'm going to tilt the pelvis back, I'm going to round into the lower back, scooping in, scooping up through the belly, and then tilting forward, rocking back onto the tip of the seat. So tilting back and rocking towards the tailbone, and then back up into the seat. So see if I can be aware of the movement happening into the lower back. The upper back is staying relaxed. If I'm lying on the mat, even easier, as I've got the mat to guide me. As I tilt the pelvis, I'm trying to flatten the lower back into the floor. And then as I release the tilt, I'm going to go back into neutral. So tilting and releasing that tilt. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release it back, adjusting the hips, the lower back should be feeling a little bit looser. So see if I can try and use that movement that I've created down there to explore a little bit more into the range. So imagine to be putting all the movements together. So I'm going to tilt, I'm going to hitch, I'm going to arch, I'm going to rotate. So imagine to be rolling the hips around. So I'm just going to try and see if I can explore my range, noticing which direction feels more restricted, maybe going one way feels a little bit tight. There might be a little bit of a pinching, a little bit of a discomfort, just making sure that it's not pain. And then I'm going to try and circle around the other way. So imagine to have a ball into the center of the belly, that you're trying to circle around the belly button. So I'm just going to try and almost like exaggerate the movement. If I'm seated, again, a little bit more limited as the weight is on the seat bed, but I can still try to explore the movement side to side, hitching up and down, moving forward and back, and then changing the direction, going the other way. Again, noticing the movement might be feeling really smooth, really easy in one direction, and then it might feel really jerky, really stiff as I try to go the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Returning the hips back to the middle, adjusting the hips, adjusting the pelvis. I'm going to start working, staying with the hips, but start working more into the hip joint. So I'm going to get into the legs. So if I need a little support, I'm just going to place the band around the back of the right leg. I can use the hands if I'm seated, as it's quite easy to reach to. And then From there, I'm just going to start going into a little knee lift. So I'm going to try and lift the right foot off the ground, and then I'm going to pop it back down again. I'm going to lift it up, and then pop it back down. So it doesn't matter if the foot doesn't actually lift off the floor, but just to see if you can be aware of that little twitching, the little tension at the front of the hip, so the hip flex is trying to create the pull, trying to create that lift. And then at the same time, the belly helping me to stabilize that lift. And top of the femur, the top of the thigh bone moving gently to the hip socket, is trying to ease some of the tension of the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing down, relaxing the leg, releasing the hip. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the left side. So I'm just going to place the band around the left leg. And then same as I did on the right, I'm just going to try and get into that little hip flexion. Finding the connection into the front of the hip. Feeling the thigh bone moving into the hip socket. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release it back, relaxing the hip, there's a little bit more movement into the hip. I'm going to change the direction, I'm going to go into a little knee drop. So, same, I can use the band around the leg, I can use the hand to help me direct the leg in the direction I want to move it. Focusing on the right leg again, I'm going to start opening the right knee out to the right, and then I'm going to close it back to center. See if you can picture the movement. I'm not just moving the leg out to the side. See if you can imagine your thigh bone turning out into the hip socket to take that leg in that direction, and then turning in to come back to center. So without exaggeration, but see if you can be aware of this slight rotation as you open the leg to the side, and then the rotation to come back to the center. So a slight external rotation to open, and then a slight internal rotation to close back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, relaxing the leg, releasing the hip. Same thing with the left side. So using the band around the leg, using the hand to help you push or pull the leg back in. I'm going to start opening that left knee out to the left, and then come back to center again. And then same as on the other side. See if I can be aware of that slight rotation, the bone turning out as like open, and then turning back in, it's like close back to center again. So easing some of the stiffness, some of the tension of the hip, of the groin, Trying to create a nice, smooth movement, nothing that is causing pain, pinching or catching into the hip. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 'Last one. 10. And release it back. Relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. Hopefully the hip is a little bit warmer, same as we did for the back. I'm going to try and see if I can explore the range of movement. So placing the band around the right leg again so that I can support it with the arms as well. And then imagine with the tip of your knee to be drawing shapes. So there could be circles, there could be letters, there could be numbers, there could be just random shapes. But what I'm trying to do is to try and explore the full range into the hip socket. So I'm going to try and go in as many directions as possible with the leg, and then see how the leg responds. So does it want to move that way? No, it doesn't want to go that way, but it really likes to go the other way. Not forcing anything, just to see if I can try and encourage the leg to relax a little bit more and a little bit more on each movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release it down. Relaxing the leg, relaxing the arms. If I'm using the arms to support the leg too, I'm going to switch the band around the left leg. If I'm using the band, and then I'm going to start exploring the range, the other side, the other way. So as many directions as possible. Corners, top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left. Crisscross, infinity, 8, alphabet, letters, numbers, whatever direction I feel that I can go into, see if I can try and get as much range, as much movement as possible. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release it down. Relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. Hopefully the hip feels a little bit warmer, feels a little bit more relaxed. I'm going to start traveling up through the spine. Next I'm working onto the thoracic spine. I'm going to start off with a little flexion extension. So think of the back of the ribcage. I'm going to try and round it. So if I'm seated, I'm going to tuck the chin in and then rounding the shoulders. I'm going to kind of like hunch forward as much as I can. And then in reverse, I'm going to retract the shoulders, dropping them down. I'm going to try and extend and open as much as I can. And then I'm going to flex. And then I'm going to open and lift again. If I'm lying down, I might want to support the head. So I can tuck the chin and then lifting the head and the shoulders. I'm going to come up into that full flexion. So a little bit more tension into the belly as well. And then as I drop down, I'm going to try and come up into that nice extension. So I'm going to try and flex, close in the front of the body, open in the back. And then extend, close in the back of the body, open in the front. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last time. And releasing back, adjusting the shoulders, giving the head a gentle roll, making sure that the neck doesn't feel stiff, doesn't feel tight. And then from flexion extension, I'm going to go to little rotation. So if I'm lying down, I'm going to raise the arms up to the front, clasping the hands together, keeping the hands apart, and then I'm just going to start rolling from shoulder to shoulder, from side to side. So see if I can get a nice gentle rocking movement that is rolling my rib cage from one to the other side, from the left onto the right shoulder, from the right back onto the left shoulder again. If I'm seated, same as usual, I can cross the arms onto the chest and then just gently rotate from side to side. I can swing the arms around if that feels more comfortable. Just encouraging the spine to stay long, to stay straight. So if I'm seated, see if you can aim for your chin to stay parallel to the floor, to look straight forward, straight ahead, to look around, making sure that your gaze doesn't drop towards the floor, towards the mat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last time, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. This is a little bit more movement to the top. I'm going to change the direction again, going into a little lateral flexion. So from seated, I'm just going to flex down one side as if I was trying to reach the bottom of the chair, then come back, and then flex it down the other way so I can reach down the other side. Same as before, maintaining the chin lifted, the chest lifted, making sure that I'm not leaning forward and going into the legs. I'm trying to stay nice and upright, and then just move down the side, and then come back. If I'm laying down with one hand, I might want to support the head so that I can take it with me as I reach down the right side, and then switch, and then take it down as we reach the other way. So from one side, back to the center, over to the other. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, giving the head a gentle roll again, making sure that the neck doesn't feel stiff, it doesn't feel tight. More movement into the back as well. I'm going to see if I can focus at this time onto the shoulder joint. So no matter if I'm seated or laying down, I'm going to stick my right arm straight up to the front. And then imagine your fingers to be pencils. I'm going to start drawing a little circle on the ceiling above the shoulder. I'm going to gradually start spiraling the circle out. So I'm going to try and make it bigger. Going as big as I feel comfortable, making sure that there is no grinding, pinching or catching into the shoulder. And then as you're spiraling out, notice how the top of the arm, the head of the humerus, rotates into the shoulder socket. How I need to change the position of the arm to create a smoother movement so that the shoulder doesn't click, doesn't grind, doesn't catch. Then I'm going to spiral my way back to that little circle. And then I'm going to reverse my spiraling. I'm going to spiral out the other way. So I'm going to try and gradually go bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I'm going to keep spiraling the same way. But I'm going to start going smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm going to try one more time. So I'm going to spiral out, making it as big as I can. If I'm seated, encouraging the elbow to bend. So finding a comfortable position for the shoulder, for the arm, and then gradually spiraling back in again. And releasing back, relaxing the arm, relaxing the shoulder. I'm going to try the same thing with the left. So I'm going to reach the arm straight to the front, and then if I had pencils instead of fingers, I'm going to start circling around. And then gradually I'm going to try and spiral my way out into a bigger circle. Again, noticing how I need to move the arm to prevent the shoulder from clicking, from grinding, from catching, the neck from stiffening, from tensing out. And then I'm going to keep circling the same way, but gradually spiraling my way back in again. So making the circle smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Then I'm going to reverse my circling and then gradually spiral out again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to gradually spiral it back in again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I'm going to reverse the circle and then spiral out one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then spiral it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. Relaxing the arm, relaxing the shoulders. There's a little bit more movement into that left shoulder too. I'm going to try and see if I can start combining the arm and the back together. So if you're lying down, I want you to roll over onto one side, setting yourself into your opening and closing doors. And so, as usual, the bottom arm, I'm going to pull it right through, so I'm resting on the back of the shoulder, using a block or a pillow to support the head, or placing the head onto the mat if that doesn't feel too uncomfortable for the neck. I'm going to bring the legs forward and then knees together, and pressing them down into the mat. I'm going to start opening that door. So with the top arm, I'm going to lift up, turning the head, turning the rib cage. I'm going to rotate as far as I can, coming back to the center, and then I'm going to open again. If I'm seated, I'm going to do the same, but from my upright position. So I'm just going to pick one side, and then I'm going to open in that direction. Come back to center, and then I'm going to open again. Same as you need for your circles. So see if you can play with the position of the arm. So what happens if I turn the hand a slightly different way? What happens if the arm rotates in slightly, rotates out slightly? Do I get a better stretch? As the movement is smoother? Does it feel easier? So see if I can try and create a nice relaxed movement. The neck doesn't feel stiff, the shoulder, the arm position doesn't feel awkward. I can feel a nice stretch across the front of the chest. I can feel a nice rotation into the upper back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And raising back, giving the shoulder a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulder, releasing the arm, and then I'm going to try the same thing to the other side. So switching yourself around, turning to face the other way. If you're laying down onto your side, and then I'm going to set to the same position with the other side on the other side. So making sure that the weight is on the back of the shoulder, so I'm not crushing the shoulder. The legs are together, the knees are staying on the mat. I'm going to start opening the other way and then closing back. So again, playing with the position of the arm. Can I find a better angle into the shoulder socket? Can I find a better movement, a smoother movement? Can I open up through the chest a little bit more? So, same as I did on the other side, I'm not forcing. I'm just trying to relax into the movement more and more each time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the shoulder, giving the shoulder a little bit of a roll, relaxing through the back, and releasing into the neck. And then slowly, when you're ready, rolling over onto your back again. So it's a little bit more connection to the shoulders and to the upper body. Hopefully feeling a little bit loose, and I'm going to change the direction of the movement one more time. I'm going to see if I can connect the back and the shoulder movements together. So if I'm laying down, same as before, I might support the head. I'm going to go into a little lateral raise with my right arm. So I'm going to swing the right arm around the side and towards the head, and then I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to take it round the side and towards the head, and then bring it back down. So same as you've been doing so far, playing with the rotation into the arm to get rid of the clicking, get rid of the catching, get rid of the grinding into the shoulder. And then once that I feel the movement to feel smooth, then I'm going to have a little lateral flexion. So as the arm swings towards the head, I'm going to move to the side, and then I'm going to bring myself back to the center, and then to the side, and then back to the center. So see if I can gradually start exaggerating the swing, exaggerating the movement, bring that lateral flexion back into the spine. If I'm seated, exactly the same. So I'm just going to flex to the side, taking the arm with me, and then I'm going to come down the other way. Flex to the side, taking the arm with me, and then pull down the other way. 4, 3, 2, last time. And releasing back, recentering yourself. I'm going to get the left arm moving. So I'm going to start getting into that little opening and closing. So swinging the arm out and towards the head and then back and towards the hips. So see if I can get rid of the clicking, grinding, catching into the shoulder. And then as the movement feels smoother, adding the lateral flexion. So supporting the head, if I'm lying down, I'm going to flex to the side, following the arm, and then I'm going to pull down the other way. So flex to the side, following the arm, and then pull down the other way. So think of a little pendulum with the upper body, and then the arm is just encouraging a little bit more stretch down the side of the rib cage, down under the shoulder, into the back of the armpit, into the back of the arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, returning the body back to the middle, resetting the shoulders, resetting the back. And then to finish off, I'm just going to try and connect above and below. So I'm going to connect it through the center, think of a nice attention at the front of the belly supported. I'm going to reach the arms up and towards the ceiling, taking a deep breath in as you breathe out. Imagine to be taking your left hand to your right knee and your right knee to your left hand. So imagine like a magnet. I'm going to try and bring the two together, come back, and then right to the left, and then come back. Left to the right, right to the left. Left to the right, right to the left. It doesn't matter if the leg is not moving much and the arm is moving the biggest movement, but see if you can try and think of that imaginary connection, that attraction between the two. So I want the right hand and the left knee, the left hand and the right knee, the right hand and the left knee, the left hand and the right knee. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. And release the back, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the hips, relaxing the legs. When you're ready, pushing down onto the soles of the feet, and then I want you to start coming up into a little bridge. So squeezing with the back of the bum so you can get the hips off the mat, lower back of the rib cage, driving up as high as you can. If I'm seated, I'll be leaning forward over the legs, and then putting weight through the feet. I'm just going to try and squeeze my bum off the chair, and then I'm going to sit back. So trying to encourage a little load into the legs. If I'm down on the back, I see if I can gradually squeeze my hips up a little bit higher, and then I'm just going to ease back down again. 4, 3, 2,
Last one. And release it back. Giving the legs a little walk, making sure that the back of the leg doesn't feel too stiff, it doesn't feel too tight. Hugging the knees to the chest if you need to stretch the lower back and the back of the hips. And then when you're ready, if you're laying down, rolling over onto your side, and in your own time, pushing yourself up into seated. Finding a comfortable seated position, and leaning onto the wall, the sofa. If you need a little support behind you, just using the hands at the back. See if I can find the seat bones and then lift myself nice and tall over the seat bones. So see if I can create space at the front of the belly. And then once I feel a little bit more secure over the seat bones, and see if I can get that extension, that lift going at the front. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, pushing the chest forward, lifting it up, dropping the shoulders down, looking forward, looking up, looking back, and then I'm going to release forward, tucking the chin, rounding the shoulders, the back of the ribcage, dropping forward as far as I can, and then up again in reverse, extending, lengthening, pushing the chest forward, trying to lift and open up the front of the body as much as you can, looking up, looking back. And then release and coming forward, round and rolling down as far as you feel comfortable, in control. Last time, extending up, retracting the shoulders, pushing forward through the chest, lifting up, and then lifting as much as you can. And release it back. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back, take it down. Keep yourself on. Any question or anything as usual?